Well, it's a weekend full of events as bathing beauties flock to the beaches of Galveston for lots of fun and a little history along the way. Will, Wright and Claire Leger join us now with more on the annual Galveston Beach Revue. And you were telling me that you've got a few new things going on this year as well.
We do. This year we are doing something that was originally done in the 1920s. We'll be having a public parade where people can come out and have their first introduction to the bathing beauties. We've got 40 bathing beauties this year. Parade will run down from 45th Street to the historic Pleasure Pier.
Nice.
And we've got an evening of live music and vintage fun and amusement park rides, and should be a great way to kick off the weekend.
And even a vintage baseball game.
We do. We've got two teams coming to play this year. They play by the rules from the 1860 rules of baseball. They wear the appropriate clothing. They play by the same rules, the same equipment. And
I love the fact that they will actually be sporting the old baseball uniforms where their pants will actually be up at the knees as opposed to all the way down to the
and
ground.
they'll catch the balls with their bare hands. They don't use gloves. It's,
nice.
It should be fun to watch.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Now, Claire, you have actually competed in the bathing beauty part of the whole beach review. Tell us how that is.
It's so much fun. It is by far the funnest competition I've ever been in.
Now, you don't shop for these bathing suits at local stores? Where do you find these bathing suits?
Well, if you want it doesn't have to be actually vintage.
Okay.
It can be vintage inspired. So there's a few websites, and then there's shops. There's great vintage shops. There's actually some downtown that have vintage swimsuits.
Really?
And one year I fell in love with a swimsuit that someone didn't want to sell. So I went to a seamstress here in town and had it made.
Nice. So you're not competing this year, but you have said you'll be back next year.
Oh, I'll definitely be back next year.
It's
definitely.
that much fun.
Oh, it's a blast. Absolutely.
So what do the women get to do? They get to parade in these lovely bathing suits?
They'll each be introduced during the day of the beach review, and then the judges will pick the top 10. They'll come back, they'll answer a question, have one little round of judging, then we'll come back and we award the top placings and special awards as well, crowd favorites and things like that.
So do they get to reign over Galveston for a full year? And if the first runner, if the winner can't fulfill her reign for the year, is it like a typical pageant type thing?
I guess in some ways. We do try to keep them out in front of the public as much as possible. It's unique and it's fun. It's pretty tied to Galveston's history, so try to keep them on the radar.
And this is a family-friendly event, so bring the entire family out. When is the whole event? It
starts this Friday. Parade starts at 5:45. Everything's free. There is discounted admission to the Pleasure Pier, but other than that, everything's free. The concert's free. 5:45 this Friday, and then from noon basically until 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay, so make plans, go on out to Galveston. It's just a short little ferry ride on over there. A great time, loads of fun in Galveston. Appreciate you both coming over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Tom Ryan has a look at what's coming up next on Live at 5. Tom?